Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and welcome to the Game Exposed podcast. If you guys have a brief question on a narcissist and you want to submit it and have your question answered on the podcast, submit a brief question, you guys, no more than a paragraph because it won't be read. Text your questions to 917-636-1109 and text me your questions, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can and answer them on the podcast, but please make it brief, no more than a paragraph, okay? 917-636-1109. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about 3 ways that a narcissist tells on themselves. Everyone says, if you listen carefully or you study a narcissist, you're going to see how they tell on themselves. So I'm going to list the 3 ways that the narcissist tells on themselves. Now, here's the thing, you guys. When you deal with a narcissist, you've got to be focused, okay? You've really got to study this person the way the narcissist studies you, and then you'll be able to see where their head is at. But the one way that a narcissist tells on themselves is this. A lot of times when you're with the narcissist, they're going to keep mentioning somebody's name. They might keep bringing up a coworker, somebody that's at work, or they may mention somebody that they see every day at the gym, or they mention someone that they talk to maybe at the store, or maybe they keep bringing up their ex's name. And this is a red flag. When a narcissist keeps talking about somebody in particular, okay, they keep bringing up somebody's name. That, not all the time, okay, but a lot of times that narcissist could be having something to do with that person, and they're not telling you everything. See, a lot of times narcissists can't hold it all inside. So they may bring up a coworker and say, so-and-so, they did this or they did that. And it's like the narcissist is looking to talk to somebody about this other person, but it's not always a platonic relationship that they're having with that person. And a lot of times, too, what narcissists do is they'll also talk about, when they're trying to hide maybe another supply, they'll say, well, that's just a friend. That's just a friend. And they keep bringing this person's name up all the time. And it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. And something inside your gut is telling you, well, they're like obsessed with this person. This isn't just a friend. They're obsessed with this person. They keep talking about this person. They keep bringing this person's name up. And then what happens later on, you guys? That narcissist discards you, or you end up doing a reverse discard, and you find out that the narcissist is with the person they kept bringing up, that person's name. You find out that they ended up going to that person. That's the new supply. So again, narcissists, they have a hard time holding everything inside. So they'll bring it up, but they won't tell you that they like that person, or that they flirt with that person when they're out, or that maybe they have secret conversations with that person. They'll bring up their name a lot, maybe because maybe they're having, they want somebody to talk to about it. They want to see your, response to it and how you respond to it. And, it's just because they are so obsessed with this other supply, they have to keep bringing up their name. So listen carefully when you're dealing with somebody and see if they keep bringing up somebody's name like all the time. And you have to say to yourself, well, there's a reason they keep bringing that name up, because they're obsessed with that person. And you have to ask yourself, well, is it just a friendly kind of obsession, or is it deeper than that, okay? And a lot of times it's deeper than that, and that's why the narcissist keeps bringing up that person's name. So that's one way they tell on themselves, or they tell on the fact that that is the other supply, or will be the new supply, okay? Now, what's another way that a narcissist tells on themselves? Well, A lot of times, narcissists always accuse you of what they're doing. So what narcissists like to do is they like to reflect all that shame onto you. So they'll accuse you of cheating, even though you haven't given them any reason to cheat. But they'll say, they'll accuse you of cheating. They'll say, they'll be on the phone with you and say, oh, what's that noise in the background? Do you have somebody there? Or they could be in your place and they may see something moved and they'll say something like, was somebody here? See, narcissists are very paranoid. So they think that you have a devious mind just like them. They can't believe that there's true, honest people out there. They think that everybody is shady, everybody's trying to get over. So a lot of times the way they tell on themselves is they accuse you of whatever they're doing, okay? They'll call you controlling when in fact they're controlling. They'll call you a liar when in fact they're a liar. And also they like to do that because it makes them feel justified in what they're doing. So what does that mean? In other words, if they always accuse you of cheating or something like that, they are delusional in the sense that they make it up in their minds to think that, well, there's no way you could be loyal. There's no way you have a lot of male friends or a lot of female friends. There's no way you could be loyal. So they automatically assume that you must be doing something shady because that's the way they are, okay? And it also justifies their toxic behavior. That's why a lot of them will cheat, because they'll sit there and automatically assume that you're cheating or you will cheat on them. That's why a lot of times when you catch a narcissist cheating and they're caught red-handed, if they don't just deny it till the end, even though you have, the proof in front of them, what they'll say is, well, you were cheating on me anyway. So again, they're putting all that shame on you. And that this is how they tell on themselves. So if a narcissist is constantly accusing you of something, like let's say they're constantly accusing you of talking to other people on social media. Oh, you're always on social media. Oh, you're always on Facebook Messenger talking to all these guys or all these women. You're always doing that. Then 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with a narcissist, that's because that's what they do, okay? And they also want to test you and see what kind of reaction they get out of you. But again, it's all to shift that shame onto you when in fact, they're actually, professing what they are doing without actually telling you that they're doing it. So, if they keep bringing up something or accusing you of something, it's because they're doing it and it makes them feel better to shift that blame onto you and make you the bad guy, because they don't want to think that they're doing something wrong and that you're this innocent person, because that would cause them shame. It's a lot easier for them to go out and cheat on you or lie to you and justify it in their minds if they think that you're a cheater and a liar too, okay? So they've always got to make you out to be the bad guy in order to justify whatever toxic behaviors they do, okay? Now, the next way that a narcissist tells on themselves is this, and I've actually had somebody do this, okay? All of this stuff I've been through, you guys. That's how I know it. Another way that a narcissist tells on themselves is this. They may come to you and tell you a story about a friend of theirs, okay? Or it could be a family member. And they go and they tell you something like, oh, my friend, he's cheating on his wife, or, my friend, she's cheating on her husband. So they give you this big, long, drawn-out story that they want to talk about, okay? They want to talk about it because narcissists like to secretly hide what they're doing, but they like to talk about it. And they may say, well, that dude friend of mine, he's cheating on his wife and everything like that. Or, just something. And you're like, oh, that's terrible. And they want to see your reaction to that as well. Oh, that's terrible and everything that, he cheats on his wife. Or if it's the other way around, she cheats on her husband. But in fact, it's the narcissist talking about themselves. What they do is they triangulate and use other people to make up a story about somebody else is doing something toxic that actually the narcissist is doing. And you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself like, oh, that's terrible. But it's not even occurring to you that they're talking about themselves. So what they like to do is they like to talk about things, but they're not going to reveal to you that it's them. So because narcissists, they can't hold it all inside. They got to let it out somehow. And they do it by masking it like, oh, my friend is cheating, or my friend is lying, or my friend is stealing. Okay? And it's actually the narcissist that's doing it. Okay? And you'll see that later on. You know, if you're dealing with a real shady narcissist, you'll think back on the things that the narcissist said to you, maybe stories they told you or something, and you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't their friend. That was the narcissist. They were talking about themselves, okay? So basically, you guys, this is the 3 ways that a narcissist can tell on themselves, all right? 1, they keep mentioning somebody's name all the time. That could be 9 times out of 10 the other supply that maybe will become the new supply after they discard you or you discard them. The next way they tell on themselves is by accusing you of whatever they're doing, to, blame shift, put all that shame on you, make you the bad guy so that they feel better in whatever they're doing. And the third way that they tell on themselves is by triangulating and using a third person to, tell a story or tell you something that's going on with the narcissist, but they don't say it's them. They say it's somebody else is doing that, okay? And people say, well, why do they do that? Because again, narcissists can't hold it all inside. They know that they're deep down, they know they're shady, okay? They're not that stupid. They're aware of what's right and wrong, but they can't help themselves. It's like somebody who commits a crime, right? They commit a crime, but 9 times out of 10, these people get caught in the crimes because they open their mouth to somebody, right? When there's a murder case or somebody gets murdered and people are in it on the murder or a robbery or something like that. How do these people get busted? Because later on, somebody opens their mouth. They can't hold it inside. It's the same thing with a narcissist because narcissists have criminal minds. So it's on their conscience. It bothers them that they got to talk about it, all right? It's like a criminal. It bothers them. They have to talk about it to somebody, all right? That's why you watch these Dateline stories and they end up committing a murder. They murder somebody, and then maybe they're with somebody new and they tell them bits and pieces of the story, and that new person is the one that figures out that they're with a friggin' murderer or somebody dangerous, and they go to the cops, and that's how that person gets busted, okay? It's similar to what a narcissist does. Now, I'm going to throw in one extra one for you guys, all right, on how narcissists tell on themselves. One of the best ways to really size somebody up is by their body language, okay? And this is with the covert narcissist. If you really study covert narcissism, go to my YouTube at the Game Exposed podcast where I really dive deep into this. You will see that narcissists, covert narcissists in particular, have specific body language that tells on themselves. Now, what are some of those things? For instance, let's say you're talking to that covert narcissist and they start rolling their eyes. Now you know that covert narcissist is dismissing you, and they're basically thinking that, you're crazy, or that, they're passive aggressively showing you what they think about what you're saying, right? So if you look at their body language, the rolling of the eyes, the smirky, the sarcastic smirk of disdain that they give you when they like, you say something that they don't like, or you call them out for something. Just by reading their body language, they tell on themselves, and they can't help it, okay? People can't help it, to show who they are, because it's, they're putting on an act, and it comes through. That's why very few people can beat a lie detector test, because deep down, it's not the truth, and their body language doesn't match up to what's coming out of their mouth. And that's how they tell on themselves. Another way they do it is like maybe scratching their neck when they're lying. That's one of the signs that they say a lot of liars do, is when they're about to lie to you, they scratch their neck, all right? So you guys, you got to look at their body language, or if they're turning their back to you. When you're talking, they're dismissing you. They're showing how they really feel about you. But it's up to you to pick up on all these clues, and that'll show you what somebody is. That's one of the biggest red flags that you're dealing with a covert narcissist, is that they dismiss you. Okay? They sit there and they tell you they're with you and they agree with you and everything's okay. But then you see their body language, because they tell on themselves with their body language that things aren't okay. And they show body language that doesn't line up with their words. So you guys, these are the ways that, narcissists tell on themselves. Okay? So I hope that helps you. I just wanted to do a quick podcast today. I didn't even know if I'd be able to podcast today, but I wanted to just get this out to you guys. If you like the podcast, please hit the subscribe button, share the podcast, spread the awareness. Go follow me on YouTube for a lot more videos at the Game Exposed podcast. And my Instagram is the Game EXP on Instagram. And one other thing I want to bring up, you guys, is that beware of fake, pages for the Game Exposed. The Game Exposed pages on Instagram and Facebook is the Game EXP 123. And the backup page on Facebook is the Game EXP 707. Any other pages for the Game Exposed on Facebook is not me and is a fake page. So please go report any other pages that aren't the Game EXP 123 or the Game EXP 707. Any other pages are not me. Okay, so have a great day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at the Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, the Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.